Doghouse Cup Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is today's all-American kitchen. Open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Shoney's guests can count on quality, delicious food along with warm, friendly service. Stop by one of the West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar, and don't forget to take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Welcome back, everybody, here to Simtrax Broadcasting. We are with the Doghouse Racing League here on this fine Thursday night, and we've got to admit, this track, I cringe a little bit every time I see it on anybody's schedule. New Hampshire Motor Speedway is where we're going to be here tonight. This 1 mile track, to me, is probably one of the most disgusting non-banked tracks. I would say Martinsville is better than this one. I have been broadcasting multiple times at a track like this. I've dealt with 31 cautions with one league. Actually, last couple weeks ago, we were at 22 cautions, but I expect a lot better driving here with the Doghouse Racing League and an open setup league here for these guys to have these cars set up to not be as loose on turn exit and be much more firm heading down these straightaways to stay on the track. They cannot afford to be spinning out all over the place. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors out there. Out there for Shoney's is Next Level Racing, and Shoney's being one of the fantastic sponsors to be joining here along the league. I really appreciate them joining each and every season so far that we've got going on here. Daniel Wilkerson would like to give a special shout out to them as well. But we are getting ready for a wild race here tonight, and I've got to admit, this is going to be an interesting run here, and I can't wait to see what these drivers and how they've set up. They have spent so much time out here on the asphalt trying to figure out how to get some solid time out here. But let's see what we've got in store for you here tonight, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. 125 laps, 3 sets of tires in the pit, 70% fuel, of course, and obviously no fast repairs. 101-degree temperature on the track. Me, Patrick Morrison, is your lead producer. And joining alongside me tonight here is Stella. Stella, give me a little insight here on this track, Stella.
Well, this old Magic Mile, as they call it, is one of the newer tracks in my book when we're dealing with ones like North Wilkesboro. It opened in 1990, and it had its first cup race in 1993. But I've got to tell you something about the construction of this. Believe it or not, it's really weird because these guys designed it and constructed it without ever consulting engineers. And they used just one surveyor on the whole plan, and that was just to plant the stakes. Maybe that explains why these guys have so much trouble.
Yeah, these next-gen cars with so much power, not enough room, and especially when they really started taking away so much of the sidewall, these tires aren't able to roll as well, and they slide on through, unable to connect. But let's go ahead, as we saw qualifying there for just a moment. We are heading already to our starting grid here for the night. Kevin Powell and Jonathan Jennings, the two brothers, in that front row. I saw them during practice. They've been fast all night. Jacob Reeves will be starting third next to Christopher Simon from row number 2. And row number 3, our points leader, will be Andrew St. Coeur. We'll be starting fifth next to Justin McMahon. Waiting for Chris Leftwich and Kevin Thompson will be sitting right behind them. And finishing out our top 10. Mike Samia and Tyler Mollett sitting in the number 3, and Tyler Mollett in the 94 will be 10th. Inside of row number 6, Daniel Wilkerson starting in the 11th spot with Gary Armijo to his outside. Moving on through, that is going to bring us with Gary Clune. Gary Clune there, the last driver there from Twisted Axle Racing, trying to find out where he's going to plant here today, with next to Richard Leclerc starting 14th. Mark Dumont starting 15th next to Stephen Buonamo, and now we're working our way to the very back of the field here. Eddie Rivers will be 17th next to Eric Warman. Bill Gentry and Mike Leftwich following on the way back. Michael Giverson starting 21st. Chase Harden way back here, and hopefully we'll see if he's able to take the wheel. Right now I'm showing 3 drivers unable to collect it together here. I know there has been some packet losses here all night, and I think more drivers have fallen victim to that. The number 34 Chevrolet of Bill Gentry, the 124 of Michael Giverson, and the number 40 Toyota of Chase Harden. Looks like these guys will not be taking the wheel here tonight. So it looks like 19 drivers here at New Hampshire, and I can't wait to see what happens here. Jonathan Jennings and Kevin Powell in the front row. These are going to be your guys to beat. I can't wait to see what they've got in store for us, and we'll talk a little bit later on during this run here, kind of where they plant themselves during the season here so far via points. B-Mac out there already rooting on. Andrew, Kevin, and Gary, let's get it going here. Green flag is out. Already 125 laps on the way. Outside line will prevail later on in the race, but it is very difficult to tell so early on. So let's get this going as they are still side by side here for the front row. Love to see it. already. Jacob Reeves under no problem, and it looks like the number 14 there in the back may be sliding around. Looks like the 114 of Mark Dumont. He has actually started in the back of the field here. Let's get back up to the front where it looks like Kevin Powell is broken away from his brother of Jonathan Jennings. Right now, all Chevrolets occupy the top three. Continuing on, Andrew St. Croix Ford looking to see if he can find a little wiggle room here. But with short track domination going really to the elite Southern Motorsports team, I'd probably say this is going to be really a tough hill to climb for Andrew St. Croix later on here in this run, Stella.
Yeah, I'm watching. I've seen a couple other leagues, like you say, take on this New Hampshire, and I do have hopes. I have high hopes for this league because they have always impressed me with their skill out there on the road. Oh, but here we are with our first caution.
Yeah, it looks like Rich Leclerc may be around in the number 117 here. Chevrolet definitely getting real loose. We were keeping an eye on back there on the number 13 of Chris Leftwich and Kevin Thompson. Chris Leftwich obviously made sure he paid his spotter here tonight and didn't rotate up into Kevin Thompson. But let's see if we can take a quick peek and see what happens to Leclerc here. I think he may just... Yep, right there. Yeah, Mike Leftwich finishing the job there. All right, hopefully not too terrible of damage here to Richard Leclerc. That slams the Canadian all the way here in the back. Right now, the Andrew St. Croix, the only one staying in the front. Right now, Leclerc and Dumont right now having some trouble here in the back. The 117 and the 114, these guys side by side for 18th and 19th here in the run already. First caution out of the night, starting on lap number 3. Is he going to rotate on around? I would probably suspect no one's going to pit here. I would love to see them go ahead and push this on the green because this is going to be a rough night. And Stella, I think you were with me during the caution-filled race, and it was an ugly one.
It was not the very first one that you set your caution record with, but the second one, yes, with 22, that was a little rough. But I mean, it. But I still, we're thinking positive.
Yeah, well, that record set by the High Octane Sim Series of a 13 caution race. Over 120 laps of it were run under caution. Out of I believe a 250 lap race.
That was a 32 caution race, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said 13.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 32 caution race. Yeah.
We can do 13 standing on our heads.
yeah, that was a rough one. I think that broadcast lasted almost 4 hours, especially for a track that only really measures about a mile here.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that will not continue. Right now, already catching a little yellow fever here. First thing in the race. Looks like Kevin Powell is going to elect to take the outside row. Can't blame him. That is exactly what I would do. Pace car lights are still on. Looks like they may send it around one more time. I don't know if anybody's piecing their car back together. No one has pit out here on the track, or elected to go off the track to go ahead and see if they can slap some tires. Right now, as many times as they've gone around, might be an idea to throw an extra gallon of fuel in there. It may switch things up if you're Richard Leclerc, Eddie Rivers, Stephen Buonamo. I would probably say safe spot at 14th on back. Now would be a good time to switch it up. Really, you got only 5 or 6 spots left to lose rather than being dead last, and may give guys an opportunity to file on through. But let's see if we can take a quick little look at our championship points here while we are under caution. Andrew St. Croix is in the lead with 1,174 points. Twisted Axle Racing driver of Kevin Thompson will be sitting second, and Jonathan Jennings trying his best to claw into the lead here. But after Andrew St. Croix led 97 laps at Las Vegas, that makes it very, very hard for Jonathan Jennings to return back to the field and chase these guys down. I'm waiting to see if Kevin Powell or Jacob Reeves, those guys are going to be a pretty close battle as well. But I don't want to kind of count out a couple of the other drivers that are hanging out down there. Chris Leftwich and Justin McMahon. McMahon's been on the hot streak as of late, looking to break past that 15th spot, past Chris Leftwich for 14th. So a lot of drivers kind of on the edge here, trying to figure out where they're going to place for the remainder of the season. I believe we've only got about 5 races left in this one, and it's starting to tighten down pretty hard here. Drivers lining up side by side here, Stella. We're about to head back on the green.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like Michael Stansel is out there saying, "Go, Kevin." So we'll hopefully see how this one goes. Hopefully Michael Stansel is out there. I've got a couple of Kevins out here. Give me which one. We got Kevin Powell and Kevin Thompson. We'll see if this one can get underway. Pace car is back where it belongs, down pit road, and away we go. Kevin Powell wasting no time on the loud pedal, and away we go. Jonathan Jennings in the 91 Chevrolet might be under fire here pretty soon as Andrew St. Cour is trying to find a groove. St. Cour already trading paint there with the number 57 Chevrolet of Jacob Reeves. Right now, the McConey setup shop didn't plan for any bent panels on there, but he's going to have to now as Andrew St. Cour drops down to 4th and follows behind the number 57. So still, once again, all Chevrolets for the top 3. Justin McMahon following up in his spot with the 5th area in the number 24. Where's Christopher Simon land here? Looking for 6th is where he is. Toyota for him. So Stella, we're already seeing guys single filing here. No one really trying anything sketchy. But Mike Samia might be thinking a little bit differently as Chris Leftwich looks like he might have left a gap for him.
Yeah, what I'm seeing also is we are starting to get single file, which was kind of the solution that the R&R team came to. Was this track, even though it's 65 feet wide, they've paved the apron to make it part of the track, it just, the flatness of it just does not make for happy side-by-side racing.
No, it does not, and it looks like maybe Gary Armijo got way loose coming out of turn 2 there, shoots to the inside, almost to the yellow line, recollects. That is going to allow the number 22 of Stephen Buenamo to take an angle shot at him, but Gary Clune's on his outside, so hopefully no 3-wide condition here, but side by side, Clune and Armijo, both Garys going at it here into turn 1. Looks like Armijo may have to check up a little bit. Buenamo's getting loose, and you see already trouble here in the back. Buenamo's around. The number 113 of Eric Warman is destroyed. It looks like Samia even gets some trouble here. I'll see if we can get some drone footage out there, Warman. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what got Samia later on in the run. Second caution is out. Well, Stella, we got a better record here so far.
We made it to 12 laps before the second caution.
Well, we had 1 at 2, and then 4, and then 5, and then, you know, it's just kind of...
Oh, yeah.
It's separated a little bit. We got a couple green flag laps in. I just don't know what adjustment these guys can make. When I raced here in my racing rig on this track, trying to find rear traction, because the car goes so slow, you want a downshift. I would fully expect to see Jonathan Jennings, Kevin Powell, Reeves, St. Cour. These guys are not utilizing fifth gear.
They're doing that money shift.
Right. They're sitting in 4th. But if the gearing is too low, it's going to cause tire spin, and you've got to find really that sweet spot. And right now, Stephen Buenamo and Mike Samia did not find it here. Let's see if we can find out what happened as Warman gets all sorts of bent up here. 22 tries to recover. Yeah. Boom. Warman's had nothing. Hammers right into the wall. 22 machine. Gets it back together. Now, I want to figure out where Mike Samia comes into this whole piece, because this wreck's behind him. Oh, he gets way loose. Oh, is he? All right. Oh, no. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. I bet you Eddie Rivers just freaked out. Holy cow. However, driver down pit is Eric Warman. We saw how hard he hit that wall. Not looking good here for that, for Eric Warman here. I hate to see it for him. Hopefully he will be able to recover and rejoin the race. I'm sure his sponsor would love to see him back out onto the track. So far, this race has been all Kevin Powell in the number 93. Seems to be having no problems out here onto the track. very, very fast out there. I would wonder here on any kind of fuel mileage if these drivers would consider, if they're already clutching or if they're kind of waiting it out. Really into this whole mess is we're starting halfway through lap 13. What happens here? I mean, this is some of these drivers here, Stella. When you got the guys probably 14th on back, already kind of spinning around, having some trouble keeping collected on the track. Guys who are running the top 5. What turns their strategy here? I mean, you may have thought this may have gone green flag, but now we're starting to get another caution here. What is the output? What do we do from here?
Yeah, what you're wondering is, without a stage break, you don't have an automatic, okay, this is where we're going to go in and get tires. This is where we're going to go in, get fuel. They are probably renegotiating what their plans are for what lap they should come in. Because if green flag racing is going to take a whole lot different gas or right side tires on you.
It makes you question, if you're a driver like Andrew St. Cour is trying to defend that number 1 spot for the championship here, under caution isn't going to be it. Right now, he needs long runs. We've seen Andrew St. Cour with a fantastic, a 1-lap difference in his pit there at Las Vegas, and it worked. It worked. He had a 3-second lead, although Jonathan Jennings did reel him in to about a quarter of a second there right at the end, and he was puckering, trying to stay out in front of him. But this is going to be a great run here. Let's try to get this one underway again, back under green. Let's let her rip. Evan Powell in the front. Right now, let's want to rotate back where there may be some trouble. Jennings already trying to fire back underneath. Andrew St. Cour got a fantastic jump as well, sliding on through. St. Cour on the outside of Reeves. Reeves going to hold the inside line. And I got to admit, Reeves doing a fantastic job in the McConey setup shop. Chevrolet, it seems to be sticking here so far. Justin McMahon now works farther into the top 5, putting Andrew St. Cour back to the final position. And Christopher Simon looks like he breaks away from Kevin Thompson. So these guys are having a little mix-up here, trying to figure out, if they were going to be able to take a position, as Chris Leftwich is trying to steal one here from Kevin Thompson. Thompson trying to hold him down onto the bottom as Chris Leftwich would love to rotate up. He's going to put a little more pressure on Leftwich's tires as he's going to have to stay stuck to the pavement, holding on that inside line. But at least one car length up, sitting middle lane, if not tipping into the third lane already. Get a good rotation on the way out. He's going to be able to maintain a lot more speed, which is now allowing him to attack the number 27 of Christopher Simon. So right now, Simon's Toyota in a little bit of trouble here on that outside line. Not sticking. I don't know if he set up his car for that. Maybe if the tires could get some heat in them tonight, they may have a heck of a chance. Single file here for the top 5, Stella, and right now Chris Leftwich is still under fire.
Yeah, I'm watching them be all around him like that. He's got to be wondering if he's safe. But with him going all the way to the left or to the right, I don't really blame Simon and Thompson for giving him a little room.
Yeah, right now they're trying to figure out how to, get this caution over. Looks like a little different shift. You see Kevin Thompson is able to drum up a little more speed as he jerks right in front of him, unable to get away. Taking a look. Ooh, is he getting ready to squeak on by? No, he's not. Kevin Thompson with a good defense here, able to block that number 27. But look who's creeping up the back. The 94 Chevrolet of, we don't talk about much, Tyler Mollett. Tyler Mollett is kind of working his way up, only one position gain, trying to look for a second on Christopher Simon, as Simon has actually been having some trouble here tonight, already rolling back 4 positions since the beginning of this race. Now, we have served a few cautions, though, so he should have enough time to continue on and figure if he can get this thing straightened out. But the caution's working very well for Eric Warman as he has returned back to the track. He is down a boatload of laps, though, gotten at least 8 here, and he's going to be back onto the track and putting down some laps. Now, I don't know, I would probably say that vehicle's got a lot of problems, but I think Mike Samia's around. A lot of smoke around that number 3 Chevrolet out there. He's going to be having some more problems, and he's been in more than one here.
Yes.
Yeah,
the one thing I do like about Warman, though, I hate to see a DNF. I like it when they come back out and race, and this is a track where 7, 8 laps down. If we keep seeing the cautions we've been seeing, he will probably be back on the lead lap before the end of the race.
As long as he can stay out of it, I would completely agree with that. I believe we saw another league. The guy was down about 7 laps. Enough cautions brought him back to the lead lap and had a top 10 finish. So do not count it out. That was a Pocono race that
Yes.
we broadcast last night. But Mike Samia in trouble in lap 11, in trouble in lap 20. Let's figure out what happened to Mike Samia here. Yeah, that lane is not working for him. We've seen this as he rotates on through. Boy.
Hang on.
That's all right. That's all right. Looks like it's going to be cosmetic damage on that. He will be A-okay. Yeah, you see a little bit of the hood and bumper and fender damage. Almost had it. Yeah, very, and really in these cars, and we've heard Jacob Reeves say it before, it's very, very difficult to have these cars really kind of straighten out here. They want to snap back, so I give it to Mike Samia going ahead and giving it a kiss off the wall. If he had let off the brake to allow the tires to rotate and maybe allow him to steer a little more, he may have slung back up the track like he did on the backstretch. And really, that is not what you want to do. A lot of guys will start puckering and getting real nervous about the run, or where you're going to go next. So that could be pretty rough. But there we go. Eric Warman gets one of his laps back here. So this is exactly why you don't give up. So he's going to get one more back. That should only put him 7 down. And so far, really, guy on the move here tonight is Mike Leftwich in the number 60 machine. He is up 7 positions here tonight. Right now, sitting in that 13th spot. Fantastic job here for Mike Leftwich so far in this run. But as we reach lap 23, this is getting pretty tough for some of the drivers out there. Samia, Chris Leftwich, McMahon are doing a little pit lane touch is what it's saying. I think something might have happened down there. I don't think anything really crazy going on. I think everything may be A-okay. Not double stacking yet. I think they're ready to go. They already know where everybody's going to line up. But the pace car lights remain on in Stella, New Hampshire. Like I said at the beginning of this broadcast, it to me is one of those ones I do not circle on the schedule. This is a track that was it? The great Philip Temples would say, I would love to see fill with water.
Yes, I was just thinking the same thing. I was going to say, is this one of those you would like to make a lake?
Yeah, well, with the lack of banking, it would only require a puddle.
Ooh.
With as flat as it is, it's just not able enough to get enough turning on this track. As we take a little look here, riding along with Chris Leftwich, we're kind of showing you kind of the edge of this turn. Is not really much to keep these cars kind of in a bowl here. The more speed, it just requires more braking, more steering, and drivers are having trouble negotiating where they need to be to make that happen. I'm hoping with Andrew St. Cour starting on the inside line here, he may have an opportunity to follow Jacob Reeves on through. But you see this turn, I mean, we're riding along with Chris Leftwich here. You see the angle of this banking. How do we do 140 miles an hour on this turn?
Yeah, it's that is the fastest qualifying lap on this track, but I really don't think you can maintain it, for 120 laps.
Well, as they say, in Days of Thunder, that may be fast, but let's see how you do out there in the crowd. This is exactly what you have here is drivers trying to figure out how to race alongside each other. During practice or qualifying, you get the entire track to yourself. Now we're going to try to stick over 15, if not 20 drivers on here. Trying to not to kill each other, but wow, did Kevin Powell sandbag that start. It looked like Jonathan Jennings got caught falling asleep. This allows McMahon to slide into second. Excellent move here as we got already shuffling in the field. Jonathan Jennings trying to figure out how he's going to beat this. Moving McMahon to the outside. 91 Caterpillar Chevrolet. Inside line here. He's going to hold on tight. Boy, you can see that nose dive right there is the 91 machine. Trying to see if he can rotate on through. Camaro making contact. Jennings. Boy, Jennings saves it here, but McMahon with the better save as he ricochets off the wall. Right now, Andrew St. Coeur is going to have to dig the seat out of his suit here as he's watching these guys go almost 3 wide with the 13 machine. Chris Leftwich trying to find out where to go. St. Coeur is loose. Man, this is crazy. When you start seeing drivers figuring out what they're going to do on a restart, it just seems like that is the only time you can pass. So here we are, Stella. 12 and the 21 side by side. These two Fords have got to kind of negotiate the remainder of this field to get back to the front as they dominated here for the past few weeks with consistency. These guys sitting 1 and 2 during points. Right now sitting 7th and 8th. Not looking good as they got to force their way through, but are they going to have enough? Holy cow, as we take a ride along with Andrew St. Coeur looking forward, it looks like McMahon gets loose, but that's not going to matter. They'll be able to gain plenty of traction as we're going to go back to a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit as we are back under caution. If I gave you a choice of who was involved, who would you guess?
Oh, no.
This might be strike 3.
Really?
Yeah, Mike Samia looks like he's involved in this one.
Oh, no.
All right, let's see what happens to Mike Samia here. Boy, look at this. 14 off the track, 117 spinning.
17.
Not Mike Samia's fault, but a little overcorrection.
Shoot.
He's going to have to fix that damage.
I was going to say, he just contacted every side of his car against that wall. He didn't leave anybody out.
Yeah. I would also say Mark here, Mark DeMont here in that blue Ford we see, he ended up in some trouble here in the same area. You see him entering that turn way too deep. Leclerc is turned around as well. Let's see how he fares. Nope. Ooh. Good Lord, that's going to be a heck of a job. Hopefully he's got some guys moving pretty quick to fix this up. 15 machine. Have Eddie Rivers dealt with some damage as well. All right, pit road. Heating up with one driver you wouldn't expect. Andrew St. Coeur. Yeah, he's actually going to try his luck. I love the pit strategy call.
Well, I'm wondering how many people are going to say, hey, what does he know? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that might actually be a really good call. I like the way he's thinking. But here's his drawback. I would not want to be in the area where most of the trouble has been.
Which is right where he's pulling out and into.
Yes, he will be starting in that 17th position. Yuck. Yeah. All right, let's head out to the chat out there. Catalina Salas is saying good luck. Christopher Simon. And B-Mac. Hey, you're still out there. All right, appreciate you hanging out there. That's a pretty picture of the number 12 and the 21 side by side. But that is going to be broken up by Andrew St. Coeur heading down pit road and down again.
Uh-oh.
Looks like a revisit here.
You think he forgot to check something off?
Nah. No, knowing him, this is going to be another fuel and go.
Okay. I was like, did he speed? Is it a drive-through penalty?
No, it'd probably be a 5-second stop. Yep, 4.72 in the pit.
That's it.
So Samia and Rivers still down pit here, trying to piece their cars back together. Rivers seems he got a whole bunch of damage. He's been down here almost 2 minutes. Well, over 2 minutes, about 2.5. Mike Samia is sitting over 30 seconds. There he goes, trying to work his way out. Samia.
That's not too bad.
No, especially when Eddie Rivers really wasn't the one involved. He just kind of got pinched between him and the wall.
Yeah.
So I think that's the part that's going to hurt, is right now you see how folded up that hood is.
It is.
So let's see if we can find a little more right angle. Yeah, a little bit more on that right fender. Yikes.
Hey, it's not a broken toe link. We'll take it.
Yeah, but if I'm Eric Warman, this is not good. Right now he's about to lose his chance of some much-needed lucky dog wave rounds.
Yeah.
As this moves him to only 6 down. If Eddie Rivers is able to pop out, he will get the lucky dogs until he's back on the lead laps. I think you and I saw Grant Thorpe in the RR League.
Yes.
Same deal. He just couldn't get his laps back after a tangle up. It wasn't even his fault. So,
yeah, he remained 4 laps down because all of a sudden, as soon as something was going to, he was getting there, somebody would be 1 lap down, and they'd end up with the lucky dog.
Oh, yeah.
But On that note of Lucky Dog, do you know it was this track that caused them to make the change in the rules of racing back to the start-finish line?
Oh, wow. Well,
Yep,
okay, well,
I'll tell you more later.
yeah, we'll race to the start-finish line right now as Kevin Powell takes off. Already Jacob Reeves trying to get some separation with the number 27 Shoney's Toyota on the outside. The only Toyota in this entire sea of Chevrolets that reached back to 6th. Kevin Thompson's Ford trying to see if he can find some, but look how fast these guys got back single file. They are not interested in being back under caution with the 13 of Chris Leftwich says absolutely not. I want a top 5 and put McMahon back in another spot. So Mike Leftwich back there in the 60, we talked about how he was on the move, has gained another position, moving up to 12th. He gives him 8 here for the night. Chris Leftwich continuing on here, taking a look at the 21 machine. Now I want to keep an eye here on Kevin Thompson, as his mid-turn is a lot faster than everybody else, and I want to see if we can take a ride along with him and figure out what he's doing different.
Well, he is in that 5th.
Right
yeah,
there.
he's gearing it.
Yeah, that 4th gear, and he's able to pull right up to the rear end there of the 13 machine. I love seeing that. You know, he's got an angle, so now, you know, all these horses with no room to run. And that's what he's running into right now. If he could figure out how to negotiate around the 13, he'd be able to fly right up to the front, and I think might be able to put on a hell of a show there, especially for a top 3 spot. But he's got a couple more to go before he can get there. Chris Leftwich being a tough one tonight. Jonathan Jennings as well. Jennings has unfortunately dropped a couple positions, allowing Reeves and Simon to go on around. And that is definitely causing some mix-ups here into the front. But I want to see mix-ups where St. Coeur originally floated on back to the 17th position. 14th for him now, so only 9 down. But look at the drivers having some trouble that are in front of him. Leftwich working his way around Clune. Clune had a horrible mid-turn there between 3 and 4, causing a huge block up. Armijo and Mike Leftwich have gotten around him here, and now it looks like Stephen Guanamo, who's already been in a part of a caution, the number 22 machine, is right in front of St. Coeur. Now, St. Coeur has not caused that damage on the back of Guanamo's Toyota, but he may cause some if he keeps blocking him. So St. Coeur, where does he decide to go? Inside line, might pull a Kevin Thompson move here. Downshift to push his way through as Clune rotates back to the top. Andrew St. Coeur sits behind the Twisted Axle Racing team buddy of Clune and decides not to really press him here as of yet. Waiting for the 11 to figure out what he's going to do. Clune sitting 13th now, originally where he started, but I think he's going to lose another position. Andrew St. Coeur is looking way too good, but Samia gets way loose, and I think we are looking at the 114 here of Dumont is around, has not called the caution, and is now towing. No caution here.
Okay. I can live with that.
Yeah, keep on going here. All right, looks like, Dumont may have totaled out here. We'll see if he takes it back to the garage. Moving on through, Leclerc is sitting 16th. Mike Samia is 15th. Clune, we talked about him getting overtaken by Andrew St. Coeur, and he does. I think Leclerc, something has happened.
Yes, somebody's smoking in the back.
Yeah, let's take a look back at what happened to Leclerc here. He may have hit the wall.
Oh. Yeah, just slightly.
That almost looked like a mechanical issue.
Yeah.
There was absolutely no steering. Went straight into the wall, and then he hit the brakes, so at least the pedals are still working. But the 113, Eric Warman's trying to continue on here. Dumont is out, and the 117 is out. So let's continue on to some guys who are trying to kill each other instead of their own car. Kevin Thompson sitting 6th here, chasing on down. Let's get back onto his car and see how this Great Clips Ford is doing out here in the pack. Loose coming out of that turn, almost gives that wall a little bit of a kiss there. Kevin Thompson, the silent killer out there, trying to figure out where he's going to place. Definitely, patience is a virtue at this track. You've got to not press as hard. Save the tires for attack later. Speaking of later, right now, Daniel Wilkerson moving up to 9th. Looks like he's running a new paint scheme tonight. Looks like it's going to be Reese's.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love Reese's. Sorry.
Until he obliterates, and then he's going to be Reese's Pieces.
Oh, you set yourself up for that one.
But right now, Daniel Wilkinson, without a scratch on that machine, love to see it. So that's somebody out there trying to take their time. Tyler Mollett, he's moved up a couple positions here, sitting 8th. Not too shabby. Mike Leftwich, oh yeah. 9 positions gained, sitting 11th, but he might lose a little bit here as Angel St. Cour is on a roll. 17th to 12th now, looking for 11th. See if he can find a little bit going on. Back out there to the chat. Valves, by the way, says, hey, what's up? Hey, appreciate you, bud. We are watching Stephen Buonamo flip out and go backwards now. He might be towing. We might got another one. Who is that spinning out back there? Was that Warman? Yeah, Warman's around.
Oh.
All right, let's take a look at what happened to Stephen Buonamo here. Clune. Look how there's no steering.
Meant it. Yeah.
Yeah, no steering there. I want to see. Let me see what happens to Warman after this whole deal.
I thought he was taking the road course.
There's the wreck up front. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, able to save it there. Doesn't go without hurting now. Eric Warman way back here.
Yeah.
He's got to keep going on, though. If he can get about 5 more laps in, he'll be in front of Buonamo, which will line him up for a lucky dog position. Let's get up front. Kevin Thompson sitting 5th. Looks like he has overtaken the 13 machine of Chris Leftwich. Next will be Jonathan Jennings, and starting to turn it up here is Kevin Thompson. Let's take a look at some of those last lap times out there, and you're starting to see a little bit of fall off. Best time for Kevin Powell has been a 30.82, now running a 31.5.
But Thompson's still running a 31.30, so he's going to be pulling up on him.
Yeah, Thompson originally ran, his best time has been a 31.1. So far, he is not losing as much time as the rest of the field, which is a perfect time to kick in an overdrive here and pick up the pace, start reeling these guys in. But I don't know how you maintain calm being over 2.5 seconds off pace and then start reeling them in almost a tenth, 2/10 at a time if we're going to be kind of riddled here with caution. It seems yellow fever has calmed down. We've got the cure, and we have moved on through flat 47, moving on to 48 after this turn. This race has been all Kevin Powell in the 93 Chevrolet here. And right now, I would admit during practice, and nothing against Kevin Powell here, I didn't see this one. Jennings was fast. Kevin Powell was only about a 10,000th of a second off his pace. But just it's not quality I'm looking for. It's consistency. And right now, with Kevin Powell out here in that fresh air, his consistency is no problem. He is pulling away from this one. Right now, I'm sure Jacob Reeves trying to see if he can show up here a little bit for the McConey Motorsports. The setup shop here, trying to show that this setup is king to Kevin Powell's setup, and we're seeing if he can do it, only holding off by half a second. Still respectable, though, I would say. Right now, seeing how elite their team is, for Jacob Reeves to go up here and at least put up a solid fight. But Jonathan Jennings is watching Christopher Simon in front of him most of the night here. I think Jennings might be waiting for his time to strike, getting a little annoyed there with the 27 Shoney's machine sitting in front of him. I gotta admit, that's probably one of my favorite Shoney's paint jobs out there.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Not too shabby here. Looking at right now Christopher Simon with a giant with that Caterpillar Chevrolet sitting behind him here. I'm waiting to see if he's going to find that Caterpillar power and start pushing on through. Jennings, it's so interesting to not count out Jonathan Jennings. Jennings,
Never.
He waits and waits and waits, and then he's like, you know what? 30 laps to go. Time to turn on the afterburners, and comes out of nowhere. I mean, pulling times faster than he's been running all race. So you can never count out that 91 Chevrolet, nor can you count out Kevin Powell. I think he may have an extra gear if he's thinking about it. So they always have that little bit of an extra backup plan and we'll see how that goes. But a little trouble back here. Looks like McMahon's under fire by Daniel Wilkerson. Wilkerson, oh yeah, 8th position, but that's not going to go uncontested. It looks like McMahon's going to try to see if he can get it back. McMahon loose.
Loose.
Yeah,
and St. Court takes advantage of that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, right now St. Cour, nice job with St. Cour breaking into the top 10 just a little further. 17th to 9th. Right now that's looking like a good call here. His pit time coming down at least twice. He may be sitting on a fresh set of tires here. We are looking at 3 sets of tires they have the opportunity to throw onto this car, and why not? We're under caution again. This might be his little switch up. He's going to have 30 extra laps of fuel while everybody else may have to pit. So we'll watch our fuel window here when guys are coming down pit. But drivers who are still down pit here, looks like Gary Clune is revisiting pit. Buonamo is still down pit. I believe Leclerc and Dumont is down pit as well. They've been down here almost 7 minutes. Yeah, so we're going to kind of keep
Not good on a mile track.
No, we'll keep an eye right now. Warman not going to be next for the lucky dog. Gary Clune will be next. He is 2 laps down, but seems the cautions have fixed themselves as drivers who have been spinning out and crashing are not getting the flag they would hope for. The racing will continue. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board on this one. Where's Christopher Simon? Inside line. And Jonathan Jennings, outside line for him. Scrubs on the outside where the new and the old pavement are, and away he goes. So Jennings gets plenty of traction there, high side, and pulls away. Right now, Simon is wondering what the heck just happened, and he wants to know how you get that grip hat exe executable file here, because what in the world just happened to Jonathan Jennings Chevrolet? This thing is taking off now.
Well, that's the thing you keep talking about, you know. He's got that secret gear. He's got that extra little nitrous in the tank. But I don't think he's given up yet. You know, Simon is still on his tail, and they're in that second bunch, 2 seconds behind the leader, and still Thompson and Leftwich are in a third group still.
Yeah, we're taking a quick look here. I do want to take a peek at how close he gets to this wall. You see that?
Yep. I have to admit, I kind of did a little lean.
How does he not scrub the wall?
I don't know.
So,
Practice.
Watch, right? There we go. This might be a good drone shot. As the drone may be clicking the propellers off the edge of the fence here, trying to get this angle. Looking to see how close, right? Oh, he's not taking it as close as he was before. I think he may have made himself pucker. Oh, almost a little nudge there. So right now, that seems to be the line to run here. Jennings starting to pick up the pace now. 31.56 last time around. Let's see what he ends up this time around. 31.54 for the leader, 31.7 for Jacob Reeves, 31.5 for Jennings. So we are 0.2 faster, catching up to Reeves, who's off by at least a second here. Let's see if we can rotate back. Where is Tyler Mollett? I think Mollett might be under fire here by Daniel Wilkerson. Wilkerson trying to see if he can reel him in here. And right now, 2 drivers who have been on the move as of late, Wilkerson and St. Cour. Both these guys have been moving on through. Wilkerson a little bit slower slicing through the field than St. Cour has been, but St. Cour is running on fresher tires. So, but Wilkerson not too shabby here, originally starting outside the top 10, now 8th. And St. Cour 17th after the caution, now sitting in 9th. So far, so good. I'm waiting for pit windows to kind of open up here and start bringing guys down for some fuel. We did run into a bunch of caution laps, and that is not going to be a problem now.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Lap 60 or still.
Yeah, with the 70% fuel window these guys run, I was wondering what are we normally looking at a mile track?
I would guess. I kind of would have aimed around that 60, about that 55, 62 mark. Okay. But with the cautions involved, now we can stretch it.
Ooh, oh, loosey-goosey.
Tyler Mollett. boy, we got him. He's going to hate that he made it on the broadcast when he's getting a little spin out here. But he is able to maintain, pushes on through. Tyler Mollett. Wow, that was close. He holds it on, though. 8th place, and that allows Wilkerson one more position. Continuing on is Daniel Wilkerson sitting 7th. So rounding out our top 5, Kevin Powell, Jacob Reeves, Jonathan Jennings, Christopher Simon, and Kevin Thompson. Not too bad by all these drivers out here. Only driver in the top 5 to lose a position is Jennings, who's down 1. Jennings starting to pick up some speed here, only about 2.1 seconds off the run. And Jacob Reeves now falling another 0.3 off. So I think Kevin Powell might have the winning setup here tonight. But Stella, we've seen before, even if you're not in the booth, I've seen you join out there in the chat. Sometimes setup isn't everything. It's pit strategy. If guys come down an extra 8 laps earlier, they may win, they may lose. So right now, the biggest thing Kevin Powell needs to be afraid of is when to pit.
Yeah, I've seen not just pit strategy, I call it stamina. A guy has his line and he's doing his thing and he's rocking and rolling, and it's like his Red Bull wears off.
Yeah.
So that's something to contend with also. Not to mention lap traffic.
Yeah. Taking a look, I know why we're going to move up here to the top 3. Jennings has picked up just a little bit more pace, but Reeves is the one who is falling off. His best time was a 30.9. He broke the 30-second mark here, but just barely. Right now, Jacob Reeves is now running a 31.7. Jonathan Jennings is running a 30.86, is still running a 31.5-second lap time, and Jennings might be reeling him in here. It looks like the 57 Chevrolet might be kind of getting, might have the fish hook in that rear bumper as he's getting in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, I can see the Caterpillar coming on, but we've got to watch that window. Somebody's got to start the fall, of hitting pit.
All right, drivers starting to come down pit. Kevin Thompson working his way out. Chris Leftwich is in pit. So this is pit windows are starting to open for some, or some are throwing in the towel saying that's enough. No more. We're going to go ahead and come on down. The tires are wearing out too bad. Definitely don't like seeing drivers get, slipping and sliding, but this may also pose another problem. Drivers trying to kind of compete or contend with fresh tires, where we saw 90% of our problem during the beginning of this race.
Yeah, cold tires.
Right. You would think some drivers may elect not to take tires. I don't think that's a very good idea, since we've got at least a second fall off from our best time to our times now, and 1 second could be extremely detrimental. Only saving 8 seconds by not taking tires. You could lose a lot more, but they've got to figure out, do we take 2? Could this be a wild Andrew St. Coeur 2-tire call? Is St. Coeur going to try to stretch this out and hope for a late race caution here? Because his pit back there on lap 30, this is going to come into play. Something
huge.
Yeah, something here is going to be the make or break of this race here tonight. As Gary Armijo, another driver, finally won out of the top 10 coming down pit. He's working his way down now. Means Kevin Thompson, 1 lap down, will be next in the hot seat here for the wave around. A couple of drivers are trying to go ahead and let on by. I want to give a shout out there to Eric Warman going ahead and letting these guys go on through. He might be working his way down pit. Reeves still trying to stay out in front of Jonathan Jennings here. But how much farther can they go on this tank of fuel? They've been kind of sandbagging here. I would probably say it would be a fantastic idea to clutch it during those cautions. This may be what they were doing to hold off enough time. But boy, oh boy, and you kind of hate to see it where Reeves is looking out to Kevin Powell saying, come back, my magnet. It's not attracting anymore. So triangulating the turn is Jonathan Jennings, but Jennings is going to pit the same time as Powell. And now Jacob Reeves is going to finally get a chance to lead a lap here. 5 points in the bag for his Chevrolet. As Kevin Powell working his way on down pit road. He has led every lap here tonight except this one. starting on lap 70, so not too bad here by Kevin Powell. Looks like he's going to get a front row spot. Let's take a look at his pit stall. Oh, yeah. Not taking any chances for Kevin Powell. Jonathan Jennings either. So the two of them, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Back out they rock. So Jacob Reeves gets a lap here, goes ahead and checks on in, and guess who is in the lead? Andrew St. Cour taking off here, trying to see if he can scamper away, because right now a lot of drivers are saying, hey man, what an excellent call, because the next one will be Mike Leftwich. Now Mike Leftwich still has yet to come down pit. He is the only driver out here who hasn't come down and fuel and go, maybe get some tires with the amount of fall off. I mean, we're looking at a 32.5 time is what right now Mike Leftwich is running, so he will be falling down a few laps here to come down pit and get some much needed new shoes on that race car. Andrew St. Cour leading this one away on lap 72. I don't believe he's going to have enough laps to get the most here tonight, and that will go to Kevin Powell. But Powell, 4th position for him, 25 seconds off pace. But we've got to assume Andrew St. Cour is not going to have enough fuel to make it here.
Yeah, him coming down, taking that splash has definitely given him an advantage. But I mean, do you want to have to come down and get gas and end up in 17th again with only 12 laps to go?
Drivers made it to lap 70, or lap 69-70, with caution laps included. Andrew St. Cour has pit on lap 30. Since he's been under green since lap 30, he may only be able to make it to lap 95 or 100, which leaves him with 25 laps, and he needs to pit again. I don't know if Kevin Powell can make it under green the entire rest of the way.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be painful.
If he has to come down for another splash, it's going to be close. But St. Cour has to maintain a solid speed here, 23 seconds ahead of Powell now, as Powell shaved off a couple seconds already in this run. You see some of those last lap times out there on the tower. You kind of see the difference here, where St. Cour's running that 31.6. Powell has been running under a 31-second time.
Yeah. Yeah. Just give your tires just a little bit to catch up, and yeah, I think he's gonna take it back.
Yeah, not too bad. Looking at Powell, the only driver on the track to be running under 31 seconds.
Yes.
Oh, he is on the move here. This is a fantastic run. I can't wait to see if Kevin Powell is going to have the opportunity to reel him in here. A lot of race left to go here, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are going to see if they can keep it going. Let's see if I on that track map. You see the number 1 above there crossing the backfield here. That is Andrew St. Cour. The number 2, the yellow one that you see exiting turn 2 there, that is Kevin Powell.
Okay.
That's the distance between those two drivers.
Wow.
So we can change it to car number. See if that would assist.
Who, me?
Yeah. So we're seeing the 93 between 3 and 4, and the number 12 that you see right hitting about middle of the backstretch. So
almost exactly, half a lap.
Yeah, almost.
And that's a bit much to try to catch up on, as far as, he's only a second, off, and yeah, that's a lot.
If he is a second off, that gives him less than 20 laps before he's caught him here. So, Kevin Powell is sitting underneath the 19.5 second range. Man, Kevin Powell picking up even more speed. Still underneath a 31 second time. The only driver on the track still under 31. Boy, he is on a roll here tonight. I'm interested to see Kevin Powell if he's able to squeeze it on through as we start lap 79 for Andrew St. Cour. The Canadian out front in front of the entire field here, but is he going to be able to hold it? And right now, a couple of drivers and fans are on the edge of their seat, kind of biting their nails here, because this is going to come right to the end. Does St. Croix have the fuel? I say no. Does Kevin Powell have the fuel? There's a good possibility that answer is going to be yes. So right now, St. Croix, who I think may have been gambling on a caution, and then he would pit while everybody else stays out, have a fresh set of tires, and then be able to slice through the field again, maybe coming to an end here.
But that's a good plan.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, he has won many races on a pit strategy call.
Yes.
I mean, there could be something wild here where an unknown driver gets turned here. Somebody gets spun. Something crazy happens.
Somebody comes out of pit road with cold tires and hits the first wall. So, I mean, it's that easy, that fast that it can happen.
Yeah, trying to keep this going. Oh! Yeah.
Speaking of which.
Yeah, you ask and you shall receive. That looked like it was Christopher Simon getting crazy loose here in the pack. Man. He's trying to keep this one going. Michael Samia on his way down pit here. It's like Papi Tokiyami out there saying, Samia, do it, do it. Rooting him on out there. Samia working his way down pit. I would love to see if Samia is pulling the plug, coming down pit now, and then going to race it out to the end. That would be a good strategy. I would like to see that.
And at least that, if he does come back like St. Croix, into 17th, I like the idea of 40 laps to catch that back up.
Oh, yeah. Clune moves down to the bottom here, going ahead and let some of these guys on the lead lap slice on through. Chris Leftwich and Christopher Simon to be the ones to get around. And here comes Samia. Samia came down for 4 tires and fuel. If he can stay tacked onto the track here, this will be fantastic for his grip and his speed out there. But Samia is going to be down 1 lap now. He's got to pass Leftwich to get back on to the lead lap.
Yeah, well, at least he came back in 12th.
Yeah. Separation time between Kevin Powell and St. Croix is now down to 14.5 seconds. Right now, this I hate to say it, but the lead is starting to really dwindle down here for Andrew St. Croix, and I love the strategy call, but can it pay off?
Yeah,
is there still an opportunity here?
It still has to be a good half a lap, though. I mean, 14 seconds, your best lap is 27. I'd take a half a lap lead any day.
Yeah, Gary Armijo actually has taken it back to the garage. Shows on back lap 71. He had some trouble here in the back. Let's see what happened to 20. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think he just he had him enough.
He ran out of his Red Bull. Sorry.
Oh,
Next week's sponsor.
Yeah, a couple other drivers have taken it. Eddie Rivers has taken it to the garage. Eric Warman has taken it to the garage. Still down pit is Dumont. He's been down pit for the last 25 minutes.
Ooh. You think he's spotting at this point?
Maybe. Maybe depends who's his teammate here. Now down less than 13 seconds. Kevin Powell to Andrew St. Croix. We're seeing if we can find a little something to go on here. We're going to cut to commercial and we'll be right back. The Doghouse Cup Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is today's all-American kitchen, open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Shoney's guests can count on quality, delicious food along with warm, friendly service. Stop by one of our West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar, and don't forget to take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. All right, everybody, we are back. Appreciate you guys hanging out for a shout out from our sponsors there, Shoney's, of course, from West Virginia, and Next Level Racing. Guys, if you're looking for any sort of racing gear or a rig, definitely looking to upgrade the way you race here on iRacing, check out Next Level Racing. I believe there's going to be somebody out here with a fantastic prize at the end of the entire season, that being coming up to the end of the year as we reach halfway through our normal calendar year. Jonathan Jennings is sitting third, Kevin Powell is second, and Andrew St. Coeur still in the lead here, but his 25-second lead has been cut to less than 9. St. Coeur teetering on the edge here, and we're trying to see if they can hold on. Napier out there in the chat saying, "What's up? Hey, man, I will see you definitely some other nights, my man. I know the big show is rolling up, I believe, this upcoming Sunday, and I know depending if the Grayson Shootout Series, what they are doing now. But we are seeing a fantastic race here of guys who have set their car up for this exact situation. Drivers out there on the track have normally pit between lap, let's say Kevin Thompson, who pit on lap 63. Most guys had pit between lap 69 and lap 70, if not 80, with Mike Samia included. Andrew St. Coeur last pit on lap 30 for a quick splash of fuel and go. Right now, he is stretching past 65 laps on his tank of fuel. He should be able to reach at least lap 100, and he may be running out of steam here, as Andrew St. Coeur may be in a lot of trouble and may have to consider, does he cut bait now and come down, because he is still running. He's running 32 seconds out here on the track still, and right now he's got to make a decision here pretty quick.
Yeah, that's not going to hold water for long. Are we? Ha ha!
Called it.
There we go. Yeah, not only that, but I'm thinking tires at this point. Somebody, and there you go. Powell back in the lead.
Yeah, Powell's gonna lead some more laps. He's been leading just about all of them here, other than St. Coeur's Road in the front. Right now, he's sitting in his box. St. Coeur getting some time here. Trying to see if we can find an angle of what he's doing down there. Yep. 4 and go. Can't blame him. That's going to move Powell to the lead. Jennings is now second, and Reeves is third. These guys separated by Jennings only behind by less than a second here. Going to be running into some lap traffic, and Powell's hoping that's going to jam him here just a little bit.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't have a Denny Hamlin pit crew, I'm curious to see where he comes out from pit at this point.
St. Coeur is still holding on to that top 10 spot, but now roles have been reversed. St. Coeur is down 28 seconds now And that is going to be a huge hill to climb, as he's only got 27 laps to try to flip-flop this script. May or may not have worked, but if you consider if Andrew St. Coeur can start planting some times in the low 31s and hold it there, he may be able to start reeling these guys in by half a second lap, which would at least put him somewhere in contention. But right now, that is pretty bad, as St. Coeur already going through through turn 4, and here's Kevin Thompson. So not too shabby. We could probably see it off the hood there. There's St. Coeur.
Yeah, I was going to say he's one iota from being a lap down after that. That's rough.
I gotta admit, St. Coeur will probably be the fastest one on the track as soon as these tires can tack up here. Right now, he's still running 0.3 slower than Kevin Powell. And Powell has been on some old tires here, at least 20 laps in. So St. Coeur really probably turning up the heat here, as he's got to scurry away. 31.26 last lap. Kevin Powell looks like a 31.53. So there we go. Kind of flip-flop here. Let's see if St. Coeur can get away, or if Jonathan Jennings can reel in Kevin Powell. Powell might be looking at a solid win here later on for this run. St. Coeur, after leading 97 laps there at Las Vegas, this may be undoing for him in the remainder of this run. Right now, taking a look at our winners for this season. St. Coeur has won himself a couple, especially reaching all the way back to Kansas. And he won Las Vegas. Then we had Kevin Thompson actually won on race 2 at Darlington. So not too bad there. Joey Beck won at North Wilkesboro. Jonathan Jennings won race 4 and 6. That would be at Charlotte Motor Speedway and Worldwide Technology, or Gateway, whichever you prefer. And then Justin McMahon won Talladega. Who has not won a race yet is Kevin Powell.
Well, he's getting reeled in really quick. Oh, no.
Caution!
Oh, this changes everything. Oh, my. There went that 30-second lead.
This is huge. Right now, Andrew St. Coeur may have the chance of a lifetime. He has the freshest tires out there on the track, a full tank of fuel, and he'll have 20 laps to do it, starting in the top 10.
What did he pay to spin out?
This is huge right now. I have got to find out where this caution ends up. I wonder if somebody disconnected. I'm not seeing any trouble out here on the track.
Oh. Very interesting.
Yeah. Wow.
We have a phantom flag.
Well, maybe. Something may have happened here, but you wouldn't guess. This is mixing up here. Everybody has come down pit road.
Yeah.
Except,
so much for having the freshest tires.
Except
Andrew St. Coeur
stays out.
Why not?
I love the call. This is the most insane rate. You know, this is exactly how I expect New Hampshire to run. This is the kind of things you want to see. The strategy here is articulating so much that St. Coeur now goes 28 seconds down, almost going a lap down, is able to scurry away just far enough that when the caution comes out, he does not have to pit. He's got 4 tires, and now he will resume the lead here.
My.
But Kevin Powell has been fast all night. So right now, lane choice is the biggest thing for Andrew St. Coeur to consider here. And right now, Kevin Powell has been absolutely explosive on the outside line. Andrew St. Coeur has got to take the outside away from him here. But Andrew St. Coeur could take the inside line and try to push Kevin Powell up into the
up too high
and try to get him out of shape. But I assure you, the saying has been always said out there, I'm going to race you the way you want to race me. So if you start racing me like that, buddy, we're going to trade some paint here. And I love to see a little mouthing off going on here. But Andrew St. Cour right now, he couldn't have a better situation than this right here.
Yeah. This was timing. This was luck. This is now what we're fixing to see is, rather than a runaway, we're going to see some skill.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is absolutely insane. How did this happen?
He forgot to play the lottery, and here's his luck still coming through. So he didn't use it up on winning the lottery.
Pace car lights are off. We will have 19 laps left to go in this race. Stella, predictions.
Oh, boy. Worst part is I'm predicting another caution between now and the end.
Absolutely. And I think this is going to be a redo of the beginning of the race. Everybody was calm, but you can't be now.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's what you're getting ready to see. You're about to watch this entire thing fold over on itself, and we're going to be right back at it. The key is all your fast drivers, St. Cour, Powell, Reeves, Jennings. I hate leaving out Simon, Kevin Thompson. I'm talking about guys who've been hanging out in the top 3 or the top 5 here most of the night. The key is for none of them to get involved with one another, because this is going to be the battle here of the night. St. Cour on the inside line here. Kevin Powell to the outside. Great jump here by Andrew St. Cour. No change before the line, so no black flag for him. Rotates to the outside and is making everybody look silly here as he is pulling away from the field. Let's take a look back at Andrew St. Cour's number 12 Ford as he's looking to see if he can get his 3rd win of the season. But already, trouble here in the back. It looks like Christopher Simon into the wall. Drivers backwards. Here we go. Chris Leftwich. He's in a boatload of trouble. Still under green, though. Kevin Thompson looks like he escapes from that one, 8th. So it looks like the Shoney's Racing team, not one but 2 drivers taken out on that spin out here, as they are going to have to figure out how to make up time and come back to the run here. But let's get back to the battle for the lead here. Right now, Andrew St. Cour has 18 laps to stay out in front of Kevin Powell and his fresh tires on his Chevrolet.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at the race. I happen to be laughing at the chat. Somebody up there saying Andrew got his brains from his mama.
Oh, yeah. Right now, we're about to know where that horseshoe is planted. He got dang lucky here. Right now, Andrew St. Cour is running his fastest laps of the night. Let's take a look at those best times. Check this out. Right now, he has cracked up that car. He is trying to figure out how to stay in front of the guy who's been the fastest all night is Kevin Powell. And right now, he is beaten by almost 1/10 of a second here, trying to get away. Kevin Powell picking up the pace yet again, trying to see if he can run him down. But only 16 laps left to go here at New Hampshire. Already a little tangle up on fresh tires, and it looks like Chris Leftwich and Christopher Simon were the 2 that were involved. They are now 12 seconds off the pace and respective in the 9th and 10th position. That leaves our top 8 drivers trying to figure out if they're going to kill each other. Justin McMahon, we see him sliding out of 2, along with Daniel Wilkerson, and Wilkerson trying to make a bid here for a top 5. So the Reese's machine, seeing if he can reel in the 94, and right now, St. Cour, the only Ford here in the top 7 drivers, waiting to see if Kevin Thompson can come up with the Twisted Axle Racing team and make something happen. But St. Cour, here he comes, under fire. Right now, riding along with St. Cour again. Alongside, here it comes. Yeah, you know Kevin Powell's getting ready to set him up here. Outside line, triangulates the turn. Does St. Cour block him? Yes, he does. But how long? 15 laps, 14 at the line. This is looking excellent. Right now, the Celsius Chevrolet kind of setting him up here. Trying to figure out where he's running that line. And I'm telling you, right now, Jonathan Jennings is going to play a role here.
A spoiler?
There we go, Powell. There's the nudge.
Clink.
Yeah, give him a little rub there. Let him know about it. Let's get a little closer to the ground here. Take a look at what you see outside line. St. Cour trying to hold on. Oh,
Oof.
there's the hammer. Oh, little blink out there from our gearbox there as we were kind of hammering off the ground. St. Cour trying to see if he can get away, but this is fantastic. 13 laps left to go as we are watching Kevin Powell battle for the lead outside here. It looks like St. Cour has just enough from his body team to wedge in front of the 93. Gets way loose, and I think the 93 is getting ready to strike. He sees St. Cour getting loose, nudges him, gives him a bump. Kevin Powell getting loose. Powell falls off the lead here just a little bit, and he's going to money shift it. Inside line, now nudges him. Here it comes. Andrew St. Cour on the inside. Let's see if we can get a little shot. And he turns him.
Nice. Oh.
Andrew St. Cour saves the car.
Just as long as nobody hits him.
Andrew St. Cour saves the car.
Okay, question. Does he keep his second place spot because of when the flag came out?
We'll see where Andrew St. Cour places here.
Okay.
If I were St. Cour and the position he could go, I would pit.
Ooh.
Now would be the time to slam 4 fresh tires if he has any left and enough fuel. He should have enough fuel to make it to the end. Because
fuel, yes, but what didn't he take off faster than everybody else because his tires were technically warm, having done a pit stop like two laps before the caution, and everybody went in?
He also had the lead. He was also control car.
Okay.
So we'll see what happened to Andrew St. Cour here for the yellow flag. Let's take another look at the angle. Oh, dude.
Oh. Okay, okay. Nice job, guys, not to run into him when he's going east-west.
Gotta find an angle
here.
here. Because I want to see if this is going to be some trouble heading into the turn if it was time to start turning and the 93 remains straight. I'm not saying Kevin did it here, but this is that was close. But I'd give it to St. Cour for saving the car. He could have destroyed that thing. Guess who's coming down pit?
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
I was looking
buddy,
at
here
him
we
possibly being the one that was blocking.
Does he have tires? Oh,
yes.
Yeah, baby, here we go. B-Mac out there saying, Jesus, is this a demolition derby? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I love this pit strategy. Right now, I am on the edge of my seat right now. I am gripping the edge of the desk. Right now, this is huge. I'm not saying I'm an Andrew St. Cour fan, but to come from 28 seconds back, to lead some laps, to then to get the caution. I mean, he's running out of luck here. This may be his chance. He's going to try to shoot past the rest of the field here. Justin McMahon, the only one to get off pit road faster with 4 tires, sitting 7th. These guys will be side by side to negotiate the rest of the field here. Kevin Thompson may let him go through.
That would be interesting. That would be a surprise. Why?
A teammate.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Kevin Thompson being his Twisted Axle teammate here. He may try to let his buddies Ford go on through, but St. Cour is going to have to earn it here.
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
This is huge.
Last 10 laps, everybody's got to earn it, huh?
I still say Jennings is going to play a part here. Jennings has been hanging out in the top 3 all night, and he's sitting on it. Jacob Reeves is being quiet lately.
Yeah. That's the one I was about to say. He's been sitting up there all night just minding his own business.
Pace car lights are still on. They should be off this time by. You know that's going to be under review later on in this run. I knew Powell was trying to make sure he had the angle, and St. Cour had been blocking him for almost 4 laps, not letting him go by. And you saw him nudging him. Powell had the run. But St. Cour has 4 fresh tires right now. And the last set.
So do a couple of them, though. So let's see who wants to play nice.
Yeah, St. Coeur is lining up next to somebody with fresh tires as well, and everybody behind him.
Ooh. All right.
Yep. Kevin Thompson, Daniel Wilkerson, Tyler Mollett, Reeves, Jennings, and Powell. All have last pit on 103. Now the tires have now been taken on 115. And we're going to see how this one ends up here. Keep an eye on Andrew St. Coeur. We'll keep our eyes on the lead first, though. Jennings and Powell, almost identically where they started before. The top three is now remain unchanged as Kevin Powell gets taken off here as the control car is deemed it is necessary to go. Off we go here, trying to figure out if Kevin Powell can stay away as Jonathan Jennings, ooh man, rotates up to the ever so quiet Tyler Mollett. He's coming in and kicking it in the high gear here. Moving on through. We already see St. Coeur moving on through 7th. He's already gotten around Justin McMahon. 7 to go. Right now he's got to find a solid room here as Jonathan Jennings is helping his brother move away here. Allowing a little less downforce on the back end to Kevin Powell here. Powell's now pulling away. Right now, I don't know if St. Coeur has enough time. 6th place. And we've got a driver skidding out of control. Looks like Jacob Reeves is into the wall.
Oh, sure is. But he saved it, and he's settled into 7th.
Yeah, he has. That moves St. Coeur up to 6th. St. Coeur getting blocked here. Right now, sitting in front of him is Kevin Thompson. Thompson sitting on the outside. St. Coeur may give him a nudge here. See if he can get past Daniel Wilkerson. So far, one by one, these guys are going. Wilkerson's still staying on the inside here. And St. Coeur believes outside line will be faster. 3 wide. Here it comes. Now let's see if St. Coeur decides to fire the gap here. Moves to the inside. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. There he goes. Now the rotate to the outside. Boy, I guarantee you right now he is getting ready to rip that steering wheel off the column here. Andrew St. Coeur on the inside. Not only 6th, but he's now got 5th and now moves up to 4th. St. Coeur can't hold it. Can't hold it. 3 wide as they slide around him, and that may do it for him. He's not going to be able to recover after that one. Let's get back up to the front where Kevin Powell is, still leading this race. Powell still holding on to it here, moving on back. Looks like even more trouble, and we talked about St. Coeur getting the run. He is still stuck 3 wide back here. Jacob Reeves with the contact with the wall. He has fallen down to 10th and makes contact with St. Coeur, and St. Coeur is almost around. Yep, I know what's getting ready to happen there. Let's go ahead and move on through. Right now, somebody's going to be pretty fuming after that. I don't know if there's any sort of an issue on that. Let's take a quick look while we have a chance.
In English and in French. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's get this one back going. Tyler Mollett is gaining 7 positions here tonight. Mike Leftwich, he is a lap down or so, but he is sitting 12th. So far, so good. Only 2 laps left to go. Can Tyler Mollett get a little more here? Still battles here in the back. I believe Wilkerson in the 78 Chevrolet. Oh, no. McMahon into the wall. Takes a huge lick. Wilkerson now tucked in behind him. Right now, McMahon, he's going to have to reconfigure that car. I guarantee that steering wheel's cocked. Oh, yeah, he's having trouble. Wilkerson around him now. Back under, the white flag is out. Leftwich up to 6th. Wilkerson up to 7th. Reeves up to 8th. And McMahon down to 9th. Right now here for the lead is going to be Kevin Powell. Jennings doesn't look like he's going to press him here. He's sitting off about half a second. Already, Wilkerson. No, Wilkerson. Tires. Tires.
Oh.
No. Wilkerson destroyed. We'll go back and see what caused that. Reeves moves up to 7th. McMahon up to 8th. And the winner of the race here at New Hampshire is Kevin Powell.
Nicely done. He definitely, and look, Andrew St. Coeur still finished in the top 10.
Yeah, that he did. He was able to hold on to it there. I want to see what happened to Daniel Wilkerson here. Oh, no.
Oh, check it. Oh.
No, on the last lap.
And there you go, your Reese's Pieces.
Yep. I mean, he shuffled himself there. Shuffled himself.
Excellent race. I know we had 6 cautions, but psh,
Yeah, not bad.
a damn good race. Ooh. Sorry.
Yeah, not a bad race here. That was actually really well done. I gotta give it to Tyler Millette though for making it all the way up to up to third. That was awesome. I can't believe after all these cautions, all these wrecks, and everything that we saw here, that's how that ended up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hold on just a moment. We're gonna run down all our drivers and have a little chat with them about how this entire race went here at the end. All right, everybody, catching up with our third place finisher here, Tyler Millette in the 94 Chevrolet. Numbers are pretty tight here. Kevin Powell in the 93, Jonathan Jennings in the 91, and you bring the 94 machine here for a third place finish. 7 positions gained. Talk to me. How'd you survive?
I just kept at it. Felt like during the race maybe we had some speed, but just couldn't utilize it. And there towards the end, we were just right place, right time. Unfortunately, we were in that outside lane and just had a good run there at the end.
Anybody you were nervous racing around out here tonight?
Not really. Me and Daniel had a really good battle there going on. Me and Jake was going to have a good one. I hate that happened to him, what happened. But, I mean, it's New Hampshire. You get tight racing. It's a hard track. One of the hardest, I think, on this end, but it's also one of the most fun for me.
Yeah, so many. We did actually tune in a little bit of you and Daniel Wilkerson going at it there. Daniel, unfortunately, really on the last lap there, it looked like his car blew the right side tires. I don't know what the heck happened, but he wasn't able to recover from a turn 2 exit there. This race, did it go the way you expected it to?
Starting out, I kind of expected the cautions to happen because, like I said, it's a hard track. But I'm really proud of these guys towards the end. We had some really good green flag runs. Everybody was doing good out there. Nobody was really pushing too hard. We had some good battles, but I don't feel like anybody overstepped those battles.
All righty, man. 64 laps at Pocono. How do we feel about it?
It'll be a whole different ballgame compared to this track. So hopefully we'll see some good racing out there at night.
That we will. Tyler Millette in the 94 Chevrolet. Shout out time.
Friends and family, mom and dad, appreciate them watching. My guys back at the fire station that tune in, my coworkers that watch all this and support and cheer me on. My team, LPR, Elite Southern. I couldn't do this without all these guys helping me, and it means a lot to me that they turn out and watch this and cheer me on.
Oh yeah, buddy, and definitely I would say the camaraderie and the teamwork that you guys have to be able to set these cars up and make yourselves better each and every week. Appreciate you, Tyler, and hopefully we'll see how well you can do at Pocono.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody, that is Tyler Millette there for our third place finisher. Unusual position here for Jonathan Jennings, second place for him. Jonathan, talk to me here on this run. Had a little bit of yellow fever here at the beginning, but once we got on the green flag, I bet you enjoyed that.
Oh yeah, yellows are aggravating. I don't know. They need to straighten that up.
Yeah, the cautions were happening more in the back 15 of the pack. I think is it lack of setup, or is there any sort of an adjustment that you can make to keep these cars from really spinning out there with the lack of sidewall now?
Well, I mean, we're racing, and when you get to racing somebody up off the corner, it's already wanting to come around on you. So once you get to racing somebody, you push it too hard, you're gone.
Yeah. Is downforce a big adjustment that needs to be made here?
Yeah, I adjusted mine, and it helped me a ton. But I needed long runs. I had nothing forgiven at all. My hope was long run speed, but it was lots out tonight. And
Alrighty. Well, I always ask you on car setup, Jonathan. We have a lot of viewers out here that kind of keep an eyeball on that 91 Chevrolet out there, and they question how you can come up with speed almost at on demand, or be able to stretch your car just another 4 laps longer, and that's why I always poke you a little bit. But my biggest question upcoming here, with a second place finish tonight, we head to Pocono next round. How do we get prepped for a race like that? We've talked before about gearing. What happens next?
practice really. Especially Pocono. There's 3 totally different corners, and it's a pain to get down. So it takes a ton of practice and repetitive laps and doing the same thing over and over again. To consistency is what makes you fast, not just one fast lap. Most
Right.
people can do that.
Right.
Keeping it consistent over multiple laps straight will get you closer to the front. And don't ever settle with one setup shop. Test them all.
All
And
right.
see what works out for you. I love it. And even when a setup shop gives you something, I assume you got to tweak it just a little bit. You drive a little bit different than everybody else out there. Pocono has turn 1 that has superior banking. Turn 2 is the eternal turn where everybody seems to have the problem. But when you're at a flat track like New Hampshire here, turn 3 should be pretty familiar heading into that one. Jonathan Jennings, I can't wait to see what you got for us in the Pocono Mountains there. Go ahead and give me a shout out here.
You guys for the broadcast. Daniel and all the guys for the races every week, and sponsors Next Level and Shoney's, and of course my teammates for the practice. It really shows.
All right, Jonathan. Appreciate you joining us, man, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too. All right, Stella. I know I was gonna let you have second place here. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna grab old Kevin though. We're gonna see how Kevin Powell feels after that race. Moving on to our race winner here tonight, Kevin Powell. Really, Kevin, I said during the broadcast, I didn't have my money on you consistency-wise. Jonathan Jennings had it during practice, but somehow you came out of nowhere and made one final adjustment here for the race, and it just seemed like nobody could touch you here tonight.
I didn't touch my car at all, man. It felt good to me. I didn't run much practice due to personal things I had going on, so I didn't get a lot of that in. But my car felt really good, so I didn't touch it. I was comfortable with it. I'm kind of nervous about adjusting something right before a race, because if you go the wrong way, then you got 125 laps to try to correct it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I've made spring adjustments, go in and then go, oh, what have I done? And then try to give it a little tweak here at the end, or try to see if you can correct it with a little tire pressure or a track bar adjustment. Man, this race was riddled with cautions at the beginning. My biggest question to you is, Andrew St. Cour out here definitely seemed to be a factor in this race. You were down by at least 10, 12 seconds here. Talk to me kind of the rundown and really the final closing laps.
Yeah, so I think Andrew, man. First off, I want to say I didn't turn him on purpose or anything. I went back, looked at it. It looked racing incident. Like he tried to block, but I was there a little bit. I did get into him getting into 3 right before that, but he checked out way before that, and I messed myself up as well. So I kind of let out the throttle, let him get back in position. I'm not a dirty driver. I don't want to take anything away from anybody. But yeah, Andrew had a good strategy. Them cautions at the beginning, back to back. I think he pitted around lap 30 or something. I stayed out until I pit under green. Didn't pit. So as we were cycling back through and I was running second, he pit at the perfect timing to avoid from going a lap down. So he came back out. I think when he came back out, he was 3.5 seconds in front of me running 10th. or 3 seconds in front of me running 10th. And then that caution came out. Justin had some issues, and I had to get tires. I knew if I didn't get tires, there was no chance. So I got the tires, and he got a good jump on me on that restart. And at first I was overdriving the corners, and then I calmed down and I just did what I had to do, and I pulled back up to him, and we were just racing extremely hard. Anytime you race them guys, a bunch of guys in the league, man, it's just hard racing. It's hard to pass, and there's going to be contact when we're all as skilled as we are, and we're just fighting hard for a win, and nothing was intentional.
Oh, yeah. We took a ride along there with Andrew St. Coeur looking at the back. You bumped him a couple of times. It wasn't just turn 3, man. 1 and 2, you would get the jump, give him a nudge, and I knew he was trying everything he could to slow you down. The untimely caution before him going a lap down was insane. But even after the spin out where it ended up under caution, he came back down for his final set of tires. I'm assuming he took absolutely no fuel. And started back in 10th again to try to run you guys down. And he was trying to make a bid for it. If he had another 10 laps and that thing didn't kick out on him, he may have been right back there on your guys' bumper. But really, man, fantastic run here tonight. How do you carry this into Pocono?
Well, I'm not running Pocono, Patrick. I'll be on vacation, so.
Boo.
Oh no!
Boo.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a starting part for me. It's a good to get a win.
First of the season.
Yeah, first of the season. I should have had a couple more. Well, season 1, but them late race cautions always like to steal them from me. But yeah, man, I'm gonna help the guys with the setup before I leave to go on vacation. So I'll get about 2 days of helping build the setup. And then I'm out, and I'll be watching with you guys.
All right, sweet, man. Well, this broadcast was pretty on the edge of your seat kind of race, and I love to see it. Shout out time, Kevin.
Yeah, I want to shout out you guys for the broadcast. All of our sponsors that came on board with us, they help a ton. All the admins, all my teammates, Jonathan, Jake, Hunter, Matthew Powell, all the teammates that practice with us, and all the other league members that practice with us. We couldn't do it without everyone. So yeah, man, there's my shout outs. If I'm not missing no one. And I do want to say that Andrew is very talented, and he's competing for wins every race. So I did, yeah, you're right. I did bump him a couple times, but none of it was intentional. I just rolled the center so much better than he did.
Yeah. No, none of it looked malicious. We could just tell it looked like he was doing everything he could to keep you behind him, and something had to give. Something had to give. So I figured there was going to be bumping and nudge, but there's only so much that could be done. Kevin Powell, congratulations on your win here at New Hampshire, and we'll see you hopefully in a couple weeks.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, everybody, that is Kevin Powell here, our race winner. Jonathan Jennings was second. Tyler Millette ended up as our third place finisher. Let's take a quick look here, right here at the end, and see if we can find our race results here for you. Find your favorite driver, because some of them might be shuffling around. Kevin Powell was first, and right now it looks like everybody from 11th on back was at least one lap down. So St. Coeur still able to pull a top 10. Oh, man. Anything to add here, Stella?
No, I found this an enjoyable night to watch. There's a bunch of talented drivers on here. I think this open setup league gives an edge where, it's not like watching the old IROC racing. Yeah, I'll be watching again next week.
Yep, I can't wait. Thank you guys for joining us here at Simtrax Broadcasting for the Doghouse Racing League. Obviously, we had a fantastic race here at New Hampshire. A little bit of cautions at the beginning, but compared to what we normally see, this was excellent racing. Man, I love open setup racing. It just changes the entire game. But we move to Pocono next week. Don't go away. Enjoy the rest of your time. But I will see you guys next week for the race in the Pocono Mountains. for that tricky triangle that we should have with Kevin Powell coming off a fantastic win. St. Cour will be looking to retain back and get another win here for the season. But from all of us here at Simtrax Broadcasting, Stella in the booth along with Patrick Morrison, see you guys next time. Be well, be safe, be kind.
Bye-bye.